And we are back. Sorry about that, everyone. Just a temporary little glitch. We are up with Alan Myers and Mac. And Alan Myers and Mac. Let's see how they did on Tuesday. They had a score of 140. So they were 21st coming into today. And they'll look to make up a few of those spots and hopefully punch their ticket to the finals. But yes, thank you again for joining us. Apologies, we had a minor hiccup. Went down briefly, but we are back. Excuse me. And so if you missed it, Lincoln Rogers had a really nice run with a score of 200. And he did it in 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So definitely one of the best runs of the day. Puts him in the top 6 or 7, pretty sure. And Alan and Mac will hope to capture some of that lightning.
Do you know when it went down? How did you know it went down? 'Cause mine was...
And really nice time getting to obstacle number 1. A minute and change is really comfortable. They're going to be sitting nicely in terms of time. They don't want things to get too out of control though, because as we've seen many times today, there are obstacles coming up where speed is not your friend. And nice catch here to tuck them in. And he is at 1:30 and already moving on to obstacle 3. So really nice. Setting himself up well if he can keep the cattle calm and happy. This is a course of contrasts where you need to be fast and cover a lot of ground in between obstacles, but then you need things to slow right down. And look at this, holy cow, if he can stop this one here, oh, just so close there to what could have been a miraculous turn. But hopefully his cattle remember that route and are willing to go back through. But you don't want to get rattled here, because he's had a really nice run so far, and he is still well out in the money. There we go. Get him out again. Set him back up. Plenty of time. He's giving himself plenty of time. There are people who have just been coming out of obstacle 1 at around the 3-minute mark. So to be where he is, he's got to still be feeling pretty good. But by the same token, things can get away from you in a hurry. Especially if you get one of your heifers starting to hunt for other answers, like whether or not they need to participate at all. Having a little bit of trouble tucking them in. It seems like this group was really happy to go in when it was a straight shot and they saw the opening from a while away, but they're not as keen to just kind of tuck in when they're wrapped up close to the obstacle. So I think maybe one thing we might see Alan and Mac try is bringing his cattle out a bit further away and setting them up on a straight shot. we'll have to see. Oh, he's going to try a little bit more of an aggressive wrap around. Could be possible, but a lot of what his cattle are kind of indicating right now is that it's not something they're super keen on. And sometimes it pays to use up a little bit more of your time to take your cattle further away, line them up. It's slower, than just trying to go for that quick flank that just wraps them in, but sometimes that little bit of investment can pay off. But by the same token, when you're in the midst of your run, there's a lot of pressure, and that clock is always ticking in the back of your mind. And with a 140 on day 1 on Tuesday, Alan would know he needs a lot of his points here to feel comfortable about the finals and his ticket to them. So looking good here. Can he get that turn? Don't let them sneak out the bottom here. He looks like he's in pretty good shape. Oh, and one just took advantage of a little bit of a hesitation. That's a heartbreaker for sure. He's going to try and tuck her back in, but he might lose all three. They're still in the game, though. They're still right at the doorstep. It'll come by here, and he might be home free. He's got it. He's got it. Okay, he's left himself, though, in a bit of a hole in terms of time. He'd like to be coming out of that obstacle before 5 minutes. Before 4 if you can manage it, as 1 or 2 people have, but certainly around 5 minutes is when you'd like to be leaving obstacle 3. And even then, you've got no guarantees that you can get obstacle 4, 5, and then the pen and the sort. But he's not completely up the river here. But it's going to really require this to be a clean entry, because he does not have time to spare anymore. Does not have a moment to waste. And that's not what he wanted to see. He did not want to see them kind of squirt out the near side and then go trotting off back to the set out. So we're under the gun here. Getting organized, giving them a bit of a lead up. Needs to watch that they don't come on this left side again. Looks like he's got 1, maybe 2 that went through. He got 1 through. The judge has confirmed. And is he going to retry? He is going to retry. He is playing with borrowed chips, though, in terms of time.
Chips.
This is a tough situation to be in. You know you've got 2 minutes, or you know you're getting close. And these cattle are a bit ruffled, moving a bit faster than you'd want. Starting to go on adventures, starting to get ideas in their heads.
No, sir, you dirty. No, sir.
He is not good to proceed. Might be hoping that he had taken the one he had earlier. We think he's going to go back and give it another shot, which he needs to do, because he does not have his points anymore from obstacle 4. One of the risks of flying a bit too close to the sun. This dog's working real nice. Got things under control again. If he can get them into 4 in the next 20 seconds and out the right end, he can pick up another 30 points here. It's going to be a near run thing though. He's got one. No, he has none now. That is a heartbreaker right there. And with that, his time has expired. And we're back. Now with Keith Gillian and Rockin' G Rio, easily the coolest named dog.
I'm ready.
He is signaling for his cattle. Let's see how Keith and Rockin' Rio did on. They did really well, it turns out, on Tuesday. They had a score of 210 in just 8 minutes. So they were 6th place coming into today. And while they can't take any vacations today, they are in a good position for the finals with a good run here. We'll see how they do. Nice wide out run. Pretty sure this dog knows exactly where its cattle are, and it does. And it comes in and lifts. Bit of an overflank. Can I go back? It's getting things moving. As Stuart was saying earlier, these cattle don't mind a bit of extra flanks on the lift just to get things started. Giving them a bit of resistance. They want to just get a few more bites in. That must be some really good grass right there. There we go. Okay, good. We're off. We're off to the races now. So 1:30. You'd like to be closer to 1, but you're certainly not out of the running by any means. He's got time. Gonna need to bring them a little bit to the right. They're drifting into the tree line. Gonna need some big aways. There we go. Just to kind of nudge them back in line on the direction we're looking for. far to the left. We're in real danger of missing obstacle 1 here if we can just nicely done. Tuck him in just like that. Looking really good. Now he's going to have to be in that long first cross drive. But good pace going. They're moving. They're moving with purpose. Got a nice little move, little pace to them. There's a lot of cross driving on this course as we've seen. You can't just race them over from one obstacle to the other because they need to arrive with some brain power left and some open-mindedness about where the gaps and the obstacles are. So he's doing a nice job keeping his cattle moving, but also not, putting them into autopilot where they're just cruising and not thinking. We're a bit low though, so we're gonna see if we can push him down. Question will be whether he goes on the left side of 2 or through 2 and then back again, and looks like he's gonna take a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. Now a big come by to just hopefully tuck them back in. And he's done it. There's some minor hesitations on some of these flanks that are leaving things a bit in doubt at some points, but dog is a fair distance away. Hopefully those will get tightened up a little bit when they really count on obstacle 3 and 4, where you have to make some pretty precise surgical maneuvers to get your cattle through those obstacles. Rockin' Rio has been working really hard. It's been a lot of effort to push these cattle. Are a little bit heavier than some of the ones we've seen recently, but he's still okay on time. You'd like to be maybe just about done obstacle 4 at this point, around the 5-minute mark, but you're not out of the picture by any means to be at about 5 minutes on your first way through. And his cattle are looking good. One on the left could be an issue, but he tucks it in really nice. Now he needs a come by, and this needs to be a tight come by. And that hesitation right there. There was a moment where Rockin' Rio stopped to look at him, and that was the split second that gave that lead heifer the chance to step through. So he's gonna have to put them back through, and that is a killer. Because a miss on, if you get a gift on your first pass into this obstacle and you manage to get your cattle in nicely, you don't want to let it go to waste, because it's not easy to put them back through the right way. But that is the challenge now for Keith and Rockin' G. And one thing I think is a nice move he's doing here, he's giving his cattle some room. We've seen it before. The best second, third, fourth attempts seem to be the ones where you're not trying to just wrap the cattle back around the obstacle as fast as possible. It seems like the shortest path to success, but it can end up costing you a lot more time. So smart move on his part there, but fortunately he's now found himself in that tough position where you're getting close to 7 minutes now, and obstacle 3 is still ahead of you. This looks promising though. Gonna need that come by here. He's gonna need it right when he needs it. There he goes. He's got it. He's got it just about now. So that he'll tell you probably wouldn't have chosen to spend 2 minutes at that obstacle, but you got to do what you got to do, and he comes out with 30 points, and so he needs it. Now they're on their way to obstacle 4, and obstacle 4 is again a tricky one where Your flags have got to be precise, and hesitation can cost you. You know, we saw it. We saw it in that last obstacle. One hesitation, 2 minutes to fix. And it doesn't always end up being that costly, but it can be. And those are minutes that you want on this course, because this is a course where you don't have much room, much time to throw away. But looking pretty good here. If he can just turn this lead heifer around, bit more action than maybe you'd want. Just needs a nice away here. They see the opening, at least one of them does, at least two of them do. Don't let them escape. Well, he's gonna maybe get two there. We'll see what the judge gives him for that. Was that two there? Okay, we've got it confirmed. He got two of his heifers through on that one. And I think the right move on his part, for sure. Move on. Try to get another 30 points at least out of obstacle 5. I think at this point, obstacles 6 and 7 are out of reach, given the time he's got left. But he can certainly pick up those 30 points waiting for him at obstacle 5. He's got a minute to do it. This is an obstacle you can do in that time, no doubt about it. It's an obstacle that can punish you as well, but it is doable. But you don't want to get too excited at this point. I think he got one there, but he's right to not just take that. At this point, he's got 30 seconds though, so it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky to get out of here with these points. And again, you can kind of just trace it back to there were just one or two hesitations on obstacle 3, and we've all been there, but it can be costly. And there he goes. He's got his heifers through there. He'll be happy about that. That's three heifers through, so another 30 points, and not a moment too soon either. That is time for Keith and Rockin' G Rio. Alright, next up we have Sunny Mahurin and Dylan. They had a score of 120 on Tuesday. Sunny looks warmer than I feel in his jacket there. Would like to. No, I'm just wondering how he can stand it in the jacket. Yeah. It's a hot day. I wonder what kind of weather gets him in a t-shirt out there.
I was about to say, yeah, I was about to say, this is spring, this isn't summer.
You know, like, y'all are crazy.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Oh, I'll be hiding up north. It's hot enough up there. You get pretty nothing like down here, but feels hot enough. Really nice fetch so far here from Sonny and Dylan. Real business-like, clean. Cattle are moving nice and calmly. Just how you draw it up. He's giving himself lots of time, just shy of 90 seconds. Coming through the panels. And he's going to move right into his cross drive. Really, one of the nicest turns I think we've probably seen in a while to start that cross drive. Just really precise, clean work. Really nice. Now the come by here is going to be key, and I think he's going to have it well in hand. He and Dylan are running like clockwork here. Just having a grand old time out there. Set himself up really nicely to make obstacle 3 if they can keep things kind of calm. Kathy, I couldn't agree with you more. That right flank on obstacle 2 was just timed to perfection. Once again, got him in a really nice position here. Just needs to catch him. Really smart move there. Most people would have probably done the come by, but it might not have been enough. That's a lot of ground for the dog to cover, and might not have caught that heifer in time. And Sonny's walking out of obstacle 3 at 3.5 minutes, which is remarkable compared to most today. And he's sitting pretty. He's sitting really pretty. If he can keep this going, he could have one of the nicest runs we've seen today.
Oh, yesterday, I didn't, you mean Thursday? I mean, Tuesday, Monday, whatever day. Then when you did on Tuesday,
Now, Sonny and Dylan had 120 points on Tuesday, but they are looking like 210 pointers today. The only issue is he's got this one kind of freewheeler out there. Can he tuck her in? And the answer is yes, he can. really nice. That is all 4 obstacles in a row that he has kind of just handled like clockwork here. He's got his eye on the prize. So does Dylan. Dylan's taking every flank right on time. It's wide when he needs it. It's tight when he needs it. Really nice pace. Cattle are just moving along. Oh, don't want this. We don't want this running stuff. He catches it almost right away. Settles things down. Just letting things kind of drift out. Now he's going to go with a big come by to hopefully tuck them right into this obstacle. He's got some headed in all the right directions, and he's got it. Way to go. He has left himself a bounty of time for obstacles 6 and 7. And he's apparently handling with a broken leg, which does not seem to be holding him back at all. This is as good as we've seen today. Who is this dog out of? Samantha Amber is asking. Let's see. We've got some information about our handlers. I cannot promise you that this dog is specifically mentioned, but I will see what we can find, and I will let you know. While Sonny and Dylan work on hopefully tucking his stock into this obstacle, just flipping through here to see what we've got about Sonny and Dylan here. He's looking really good though. He's gonna likely get this pen comfortably.
Yeah, you good?
And he is good for his pen. Now all that's left is for his sort. And this sort is tricky. We haven't seen many folks get here, but he wants one of his heifers out each of the directions. Okay, so doesn't look like there's any information about who this dog is out of. It says that some of the bloodlines of Sonny's dogs are Murgwa Jim, but does not specify whether that includes Dylan. But well, he's looking pretty good. He's got one heifer out the bottom already. He doesn't want another, so he's gonna block that right away. Now he's got plenty of time though. He's got 2 minutes here. We're just shy of it. He needs one to go out that far side and one to come out to the left.
Look at that.
Look at that. He's done it. And that is an 8:16 full point run. One of the best of the day. Top 6, I would say. Puts him in the top 6 for the day. And there have been many dogs to run so far. There have been 39 dogs. So he is going to be happy with that. Combined with his run from Tuesday, that puts him at 330 points, which won't guarantee he's in the finals, but it'll give him a good shot. It will give him a good shot for sure at being in the finals. We'll have to see how things net out at the end of today, but yeah, it was a really nice run. One of the nicest ones we've seen in quite a while. Nothing there to be unhappy about for sure if you're Sonny, or even if you're just watching. That was a really nice one. Just goes to show this is a course that can be done. It can be done with time to spare. And Sonny put on a bit of a clinic there with Dylan. Pleasure to watch. All right, we're back with Maicon, Mora, and Joker. And they did some damage, if I'm not mistaken, in a good way on Tuesday. Let's see how they netted out. They scored 120 points, so similar to Sunny, who just ran with Dylan. They also had 120 points coming into today, and we saw how well they ran. So let's see what Maicon and Joker can get up to. Found a sheep right away, lifted. Oh, I said sheep again. There I go. There I go.
Man, those brown things.
Spending too much time working sheep. But yeah, found his cattle right away. Got them lifted. Coming with nice pace. Coming with nice control. And I think he's going to be pretty comfortable with this fetch here at a minute. That's a solid fetch time. It is when the cattle cross that obstacle that is used to determine tie breaks in the event that more than one person has the same amount of points. So the fact that he got through there in a minute, I'm going to be really happy with that. But smart move there just to keep things calm. There was a moment where it looked like those cattle might just keep running, and that can be a killer on this course. Even though there are those big cross drives, there are multiple obstacles that really need a kind of a fine tooth comb in terms of steering and precision. And if your cattle are getting used to trotting too much, that can be hard to pull off. But he's coming in nice. He's only at 2 minutes and he's already getting to obstacle 3. Just needs a nice come by flank here and he's gonna get it. Maybe a bit fast, but not egregious. Now he's got to cover this side. Doesn't want these things sneaking out. He gets there. Really nice job from Joker to cover. Change any opinions that those heifers might have about slipping out the bottom here. And that will probably be the fastest we've ever seen someone come out of obstacle 3. Maybe James Butler with Dolly earlier today was faster. I don't know. But we've not seen many people on their way to obstacle 4 with full points under 3 minutes. It's looking really good. Looking really good here. Nice pace on his dog. Gets those fast flanks when he needs them for those little adjustments, but not riling up his cattle too much. A bit fast here. We don't want that. He caught it, luckily. The thing for him now is he's got such a good time. You know, use some of it. This isn't the finals yet. If you can get full points here today, you're in good shape in terms of your chance of qualifying. That said, it will be aggregate over the course of all 3 runs if you make the finals, so he might be thinking fast time is better. But things have been settled down here nicely. Got his cattle not all the way lined up. One slipped out this side. So of course, with the amount of time he's got left, he's gonna go give that another shot. Tricky thing here though is how do you line them up without losing too much time? There we go. That looks good. Just needs to tuck them in. Little flanks. He's got it. Perfect. Caught it just, oh! He caught it on one end and lost it on the other. That's a heartbreaker. But again, he's only at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Most people aren't through obstacle 3 yet. So he's still sitting good. looking at it. They're looking at it. Needs that straggler at the back to join its friends. This is looking promising here. No mistakes this time. He's got him. He's got him all the way through, nice and clean. And he's on his way to 5. 5 is a bit of a breather obstacle. It's a little easier than the 2 that came before it, but it is not a freebie. As some have discovered, it is not one you can just kind of turn your back on and head home confident knowing you get it automatically. These cattle do want some work to be done to push them through the top of that triangle, and they have no complaints about running around one side or the other. He's gonna try for a fast flank. I don't know if fast is gonna do it for him though. Might need to just give him a bit of daylight. Try another approach, and it looks like that's what he's gonna do here. Got 1, got 2, got 3. There we go. The daylight strategy rarely fails. Good move there from my cone. Now he's just gonna keep his lead heifer from giving herself an early retirement and regroup. Still has tons of time. He's spoiled for time here. 3 minutes. With how well he and Joker have been working, that's plenty to get a few good shots at this pen and this sort. But he's also got a little bit of an adventurous heifer here. And she might have other ideas. We've seen a lot of this today where there's kind of 2 that are happy to stick close to each other, and then there's one that just gets to thinking there might be better life for them elsewhere. But he's really done a nice job getting them a little bit more sorted. One is thinking about going in, another's right there with her, and there's a third here at the back that might just follow quietly behind. And that's going to be good. He's going to get his pen here. Just needs to make sure they're tucked all the way in there to get his points, which he does. And he's left himself plenty of time for a sort. Almost 2 minutes. 1 out the bottom. That's usually the one you can get easiest. And then 1 out the side, and don't let her escape. There you go. He's done it. Beautiful. That'll be a full point run. Just shy of 8 minutes and 45 seconds, maybe a bit shorter. 8:36. All right, here comes Kevin Lippy and Slick. They had a really nice run on Tuesday. Full points in 8.5 minutes. And we'll see what they can do this time around. And right off the bat, really nice lift. Making really good time on the way to the fetch. Cattle are together. Looks like a group that seems to tolerate each other fairly well. Kevin Lippy and Slicker defending a full point run from Tuesday and just almost ran the risk of missing on the left side of their fetch, but solved that with a nice quick flank. So a minute and 10. Runs are starting to pick up here the last few. We've had a few really nice runs in the last 5-6. People are really up in their game as we close out the final 10. To obstacle 2 with under 2 minutes elapsed. Looking calm as cucumbers. Dog handler and cattle. This Kelpie is putting in work. Too good to be true. But it ended up being not true. One slipped out there. He's gonna try and that one again. He's given himself tons of time. Nothing to worry about at this point. Still plenty of opportunity to regroup and regather here. Having a bit of trouble with this last one, but I think she's going to get the idea. Well done. Got them lined up. Just a matter of pushing them out the left, and they've got it. That is a tough obstacle, and you're laughing all the way to the bank if you get out of it in under 4.5 minutes. Under 5, you're happy, but Kevin should be really happy to be out of there in under 4.5. Sets him up really well for the rest of the course. Scout, we're gonna take a look at this green bin here. Not impressed with what they found. They're moving on. Bit of a mixed bag going into obstacle 4. He's gonna give that another shot. A little bit of negotiation here. One that just kind of wants to do her own thing, but he's got to watch out. If he almost lost the one on the left, worrying about the one at the back, but he pulled it back out. Nicely done. Really nice. And he is through 4 full points on the way to 5. Lots of time left. 3.5 minutes. Gonna be happy with his time. Dog's doing a nice job flanking, keeping the cattle pointed the way he wants them from well back. Only got one through there. Question will be if he moves on. It looks like he's gonna move on. Just got one, but he's moving. He's got 3 minutes, but I think he's probably figured I want every second of that to figure out, the pen and the sort.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that'd be a lot. Pretty savvy.
I wonder how many of these viewers are actually
All right, this is it. He's got 2 minutes now. Probably a good idea that he moved on from obstacle 5 with just 10, because his cattle are giving him a bit of grief lining up for this one.
All I know is that, there he is, right there.
Got this one heifer who got it in her head that she'll go anywhere but in there. And he's been real nice to them the whole run. There's not really been any instance where these cattle have been treated wrongly. So it's nice to see that he's able to tuck them into his pen, and he's gonna claim 30 more points. And now he's got just over a minute to try and see if he can claim the last 30. Plenty of time, but he might only get one shot at this sort. Okay, so he's got rid of one of the troublemakers. He's got another one out the side. Now he just needs this last one to go at the top, and he's done it. There he goes. That is a near perfect run. Just dropped the 20 on obstacle 5. And probably a good move. Samantha, Amber, you were asking earlier about.
Who is this gentleman?
This is Sarah Jo,
Oh, I cannot see.
Sarah Jo Gam, and Molly,
She had a hat on and a vest on earlier. She had a blue vest.
and they scored 110
I know. I was like,
on Tuesday.
Who is this?
But Samantha, to answer your question, Marquero Jim was the dog that dog was out of, and it's an imported dog that is actually the sire of a few dogs here competing today, including Joni Teachin's Jim, from what I've been told.
They're half brothers.
Half brothers. They're half brothers. All right, and here goes Sarah Jo and Molly. Sarah Jo had 110 on Tuesday, so they're gonna want full points if they can steal them here.
Yeah. I was enjoying it, right?
Just getting things going here. A lot of activity to lift these ones. Sometimes that's what you need. Good, clean, fast fetch. Just over a minute and 15 seconds. Certainly going to be happy with that. Now on to obstacle 2. Sarah Jo has been working border collies for 26 years. She works cattle and sheep. She lives just an hour north of Seattle. And she credits Kent and Lori Herbal for helping her get started and mentoring her as she went through her journey with border collies and herding. And she gives lessons in working dogs at her property north of Seattle, and occasionally sells pups and occasionally sells started dogs. Sergio, that dog is out of the dog in question we were talking about is out of an imported dog named Marquero Jim. That is the parent of a few dogs that have been competing here today, including Joni Teachin's Jim, from what I've been told. I'm only going off of what I've been told by the folks here in the judging booth. I cannot say for myself, but that is what we've been told. That imported dog. That imported dog is responsible for more than one of the dogs we've seen competing here today. Right on. Well, if it is, that's good news, I guess.
But I was wondering who the mother of this dog was.
I can't tell you who the mother of this dog is. I don't know. But all we had written down on the paper for that other dog was Mergwa Jim. Having a bit of trouble here in obstacle 2. She's got 2. I think she's going to try and retry here. Just need a nice wide flank here to tuck these ones in. Yeah, That's correct, Michelle. We were talking about Dylan from Sunny Maher and for that dog in question. Molly, we have not talked about her pedigree, but we also don't have it written down here, so fortunately I can't give you much information there. So Sarah Jo is moving on, heading to obstacle 3. It's going to be a bit tricky though. She's already at 5 minutes. That's a bit later than where you'd want to be. That said, she's got 2 of her heifers already in the obstacle, which is really nice. Now the question is, does she take those 2 and move on? And I think she would be right to, and I think she will. Molly's going to come in and help her begin the cross drive over to obstacle 4. And I think that's a good move from Sarah Jo's part. 2 is plenty on that obstacle unless you get him kind of right away, and unless you're a bit earlier on in your run. And really smart move. These cattle are pushing up the hill. We haven't seen too many do that yet. But Molly and Sarah Jo are going to get them back on program here. 4 is a tricky one. A lot of you have probably seen this one a number of times, a number of runs already today, but if you haven't, it's a bit of a cube with 4 openings, and you want to put your cattle through the far right opening and out the bottom. Any other path is wrong. So there are a lot of things for the dog to cover.
I think it can, if they get curious about the runs, let them know that they can go on the website. That way they can know where they can find the scores.
Okay, great. And if anyone's curious about what the scores are from previous runs, you can head on over to the NCAfinals.com website, and all of the scores are being updated there in almost real time.
Yeah.
Both for Tuesday's runs, for the nursery runs from yesterday, and then for today's open runs. You'll be able to find basically everyone's score that has run, and then not long after someone finishes running, if you refresh the page, you'll see their score as well. Sarah Jo and Molly have got their work cut out for them here, but they're gonna get this one. I think if she can just cover the away side. Dog's a bit too wide there. Lost one of them, but still managed to come up with 2. And I think if the trend we've seen so far holds true, she's gonna take that and go, which is a smart move. Now she's gonna try and see if she can steal some points off of obstacle 5 before her time runs out. Again, her cattle are kind of pushing up off to the left there up the hill. For some reason, they've got in their heads that that's where they want to be. And she's got about 90 seconds, though, to steal a few more points here before all is said and done. And not looking too bad. A nice away flank here might just do the trick. Didn't quite commit to the flank though, kind of just let its cattle continue going. Needed maybe a bit more of a turn in there to scoop them. Still not out of the picture though that she gets this obstacle before time is up. Big come by here, gets the job done maybe. She's gonna get one. And is she gonna take it? Looks like no. She She wants more. One last chance here for all the marbles. And that's going to be one again. And she's going to take that one, which is a good move because she's got about 8 seconds. And she might know it. She's checked her watch just now. So she might be pretty well aware that that's worth taking those 10. And that is Sarah Jo and Molly.
Sarah and Molly had 10 minutes and they have 100 points. Next up is Jolie and Jack, then Joni and Jim, and Mike and HP.
All right. We are up with Jolie Vermette and Jack. Jolie and Jack had one of the best runs of the day on Tuesday. They scored 210, full point run, 7 minutes and 56 seconds. So, yeah, we'll see what they can do today. Jack is off to a great start. Nice outrun. He knows exactly, it seems, where his cattle are. He's making a beeline for him. Jolie imported Jack from the UK and has done well with him. He was the High Point Open Dog in the Canadian Cattle Dog Association not too long ago, and has had a really nice lift here. Cattle are moving with purpose. Look like they're nicely lined up to go through. Ooh, we're gonna check out the sky for a second there. Bear with us. There we go. We're back in focus, and luckily we didn't miss anything. Jack and Jolie have got their cattle through the fetch panels really, really nice and fast. Only been about a minute and 15 seconds. Well above kind of the average fetch time we've seen so far today. Not the fastest, but definitely in the running. Coming a bit low on the second obstacle, but not hard to fix. There we go. Oh, might slip out the other side. A little bit of a bobble there, but they've given themselves lots of time. They're only at 2 minutes. Settling things down here. Gonna do another come by. their way. And off to obstacle 3. Looking like a good lineup here. This is a tricky obstacle to hit at speed though, so might be a bit tough if the cattle are moving at kind of that pace to steer them in. But doing a nice job here, just kind of calming them down a little bit, giving them a chance to see like, okay, this obstacle is not scary. We're in there. We went through. There was no issues. Looking like a good lineup here. Look at that. That looks great. And if they can get out of here in 3.5 minutes, which it looks like they're well on track to do, they're going to be sitting really nicely for the rest of their run. Most folks are happy to get out of this obstacle in under 5, so they've got time to spare here. That said, we're a bit fast on some of these cross drives. I mean, saving a lot of time, but these heifers will forgive a lot. But if they get kind of jazzed a little bit too much, they can make you pay for it later down the road. So far, Jack and Jolie have done a really nice job kind of avoiding that, but kind of want to make sure you don't withdraw from that bank account too often. Still sitting really nice on time, just over 4 minutes. You're thrilled if you're at obstacle 4 at this point in your time. Gonna need to give this one another pass or so. Just need it to be calm. This is the pace that probably is gonna seal the deal for them. Really nice there. Got them tucked in. Jack is working hard. And there we go. That'll be 30 points through obstacle 4. And that gives 5 minutes for the rest of the course, which is really, really nice. A little bit of a blow up there, but again, these cattle are being really forgiving. They're not holding a grudge. They're allowing a lot of recovery when things get a bit too fast or a bit too speedy. And Jolie and Jack have still got plenty of time. They've done a really nice job getting through this course with speed. The one thing they just got to watch out for, though, is don't get addicted to speed. Literally. Metaphorically, I guess. Not quite.
No to speed.
Say no to drugs, everyone. One of the things that can get tricky is you can kind of get sucked into wanting to fix this with a quick flank when, you know, these cattle are forgiven, but they still want to be wined and dined from time to time. They want to hear sweet nothings in their ear, and given some room to approach these obstacles and they still got time to give them a little bit more of a runway. Could this be it right there? There it is. sure if Jolie knows that she got her cattle through there. I thought she had all three, but it looks like she's trying again.
Does that mean she lost?
So I'll have to defer to the judges on this one, but Jolie might not know that she had all three of her cattle through there. She had all three, right? Yeah, so the judge is confirming that, but Jolie's... That is a heartbreaker, because she had a really nice run going. She's going to get her 30? Yeah. So Jolie's going to get her 30 there. Yeah, a little bit of a bobble there. It happens to everyone. We've all been there, but still got plenty of opportunity to get her pen here and get her shed. It has been done. Not a lot of time left, but there is enough. Good save there. Really nice save there. Oh, come on. Well done. She's going to get her pen points here. That's really nice. Now it just comes down to the sort. Last 30 points up for grabs. There goes one out this side. So close. Some heroic effort there, no doubt. Good news is she still gets to keep her pen points, but don't think they'll be able to pull off their sort with just 5 seconds to go. And that is still a really nice run. Despite a few hiccups, the 180 is a really nice score for today. Not many have managed it.
Next is Joni and Jim, Mike and HP, and David Henry with J.R. Buck.
Okay, and we're back with Joni and Jim. Jim is a nursery age dog. that has been doing really well. And this is a half brother to Sonny's Dylan, the dog that so many people have been curious about.
Margulis Jim.
Margulis Jim is the sire of both this dog and Sonny's Dylan, dog from Spain. And Jim and Joni had 190 points on Tuesday.
Is that mine? Is that?
Off to a nice start. Keeping these three heifers together pretty nicely. That is a big part of the battle here today. When you get to some of those tighter obstacles, is if you can keep your cattle together, you've got a big advantage for some of those tight, finessey turns. They're gonna tuck into their. Oh, not quite, not quite. Not too late though. Not too late. Some really clutch flanking there in the last few feet. Jim is fired up today. It looks like. Joni's giving him a few hays just to calm things down and get the ship back in order. They are back in order.
Yeah, yes. Make sure we're all on the same page.
Gonna need a big come by here. Gonna need to get that and ooh, a little bit of gymnastics from that heifer there. She's showing off her high kick. But Joni and Jim are through. 2.5 minutes or just a bit over on their way to obstacle 3, and you're happy if you're around that time and you're already on your way to obstacle 3. That is a good place to be. Now the first real test of the tight flanks and the surgical finesse you kind of need for a lot of this course. This is where you first kind of figure out what you're working with here, and right off the bat one of her heifers is gonna decide, nope, I don't want any part of the right course just yet.
She has coming the other way, doesn't she?
Yeah, so she's gonna need to try and fix her cattle here,
You gotta bag them all out.
and she's gonna have to clear all of her cattle. She's got some dirty cattle. Judges may let her know that if she wants to get full points, needs to start from scratch here. Jim is doing some nice wide flanks here, but this is an obstacle that asks for sometimes wide, sometimes tight. And that's not easy. A lot of conversation between Joni and Jim. She's got them lined up, but they're going to slip out the bottom. Just taking a moment, taking a beat here, taking inventory, regrouping. Our cattle have been pretty patient. They're not taking offense to anything that's happened here. They're just gonna take a moment. They're doing a nice job keeping the cattle together. This could be the one. Nice big come by here. Just tuck them in. There we go. And then she is ready. Her and Jim are ready with the come by to guard that bottom side. Oh, but one snuck back out the way it came. It wasn't quite ready. But Joni is going to move on. Probably a smart move. She's going to leave with 20 out of that obstacle, which is not at all something you're unhappy to do if you find yourself getting to 5.5 minutes. So yeah, it's a good move for sure. Now we're on to obstacle 4, and obstacle 4 unfortunately is not much easier. Requires again that really careful knife work. Got them lined up here. And she's gonna move on maybe with one there, or is she gonna go back and try again? I think she's gonna try again. It's a risk. It's always that gamble. You're getting up to 6 minutes. You know you've still got obstacle 5, which is not a freebie. You've still got a pen and a sword, but it's hard to leave an obstacle like 4 with just 10 points. She might give it another shot or two. But every minute you spend is a minute you have less to try and go after the 90 points that are still on the table after this obstacle. And has she picked up points from obstacle 4?
Joni, you didn't pick up anything.
I didn't get any?
No.
She seems to have been under the impression that she got some points on 4, but unfortunately no. Judges let her know that one of the risks of retrying an obstacle, even if you just get 10, is you need to pay the price if you end up with less. Just reading the comments here. Yep, Shannon, that's me. Nice to see you. Glad to have you in the stream. I'm chatting away on the live stream here, enjoying it. It's been really fun. It's been a tough day of trialing, but it's been good watching for sure. Some really cool dogs today. She's got a good lineup here. But Jim has gone for a bit of a drink. He needs it. He's worked hard, and
Yeah,
something
you take it if you bring him out.
something that's not been super clear. If you're watching at home on the live stream, or I don't know if it is, but the sun has been coming out the last few runs, and that adds a lot to the temperature here. So these dogs are working hard. And so Jim took a moment there to jump into the water bucket, and Joni was able to pick up a few points, and she's going to get 2 more there, and I would bet, if I were a betting person, she's going to take those and run and try to see if she can squeeze out at least her pen before all is said and done here. It's going to be tight though. She's only got about a minute left. We've not seen too many people pull off the pen and the drive to the pen in just about a minute, but she's going to give it a shot. Jim has worked his butt off, and he's going to give her more. That's one of the nice things about these dogs. He's not throwing in the towel. Looking like a pretty good line to the pen. Just about 30 seconds to go. Not sure if Joni has her watch handy, but she must know that this is a deciding moment here. Can she pull off the 30 points? 30 points is no joke. Needs a nice big come by here. Get those cattle moving their heads to the right, and then another away, tuck them in,
Time!
and that is time for Joni. Heartbreaker, just seconds away from her pen. But it's when you look back to obstacle 4 and that fateful decision to retry, and you never know at the time if it's the right move or not. It's almost impossible to know when you're handling, but it can be a painful one.
Jody and Jim having some difficult time there. They have a score of 110 in 10 minutes. Mike Thompson and HP, David Henry and J.R. Buck, and Steve with Pete. We're winding down to less than 5 for the
All right, we're back with Mike Thompson and HP.
It looks, yeah, and that's kind of looks like a. Tara,
Yeah.
need your help.
And Mike Thompson had 120 points with HP on Tuesday. So they'll be looking for a full point here. And they're off. HP's taking a bit of a direct course to his cattle. On a hot day today, on a hot day like today, might not be a bad strategy. Cut out the unnecessary distance. His cattle, though, didn't seem to mind one bit. Hey, thank you, Shannon and Barry. I don't quite have an ASMR voice, but doing my best. Nice lift there. Really nice. Got his cattle together. We've seen a few groups today where there's been lone heifers that want to run off to the side or back to set out, and always nice if you can get them all kind of going in the same direction with some kind of urgency. Now the one thing is he's gonna miss his first panel. Needed a few kind of away flanks there a bit earlier, but not to worry. They're still well within range of sorting this out. Needs the away though, and he's gonna get it. Little bit dicey there, but Mike and HP, you're seeing the wrong name on your screen, so apologies for that. Fortunately, they don't pay me the bucks to know how to fix that. Let's see. All right, I've done it. We have the right name on the screen. Sorry about that. And we're just in time to see HP and Mike pull off a really nice come-by flank to tuck their cattle straight into obstacle 2. He's got one back there, though, that just didn't quite get it. He counted his effort before it hatched. I thought they might all be through, too, from the angle, but there was one sneakily just kind of hanging out back there. And he's going to go back. Which could be a fateful decision, but just based on how runs have been going today, that's definitely not an obstacle you want to leave points on the board for. There are plenty of obstacles where you might later on decide, in the name of the greater good of your run, to walk away with 10 or 20, but obstacle 2 is one you really want to make sure you're getting. And so it's a bit of a heartbreaker for him because he's going to lose probably 45 seconds or more, but almost had no choice at this early in his run to leave those points on the table. He needs to be careful though. Oh, he's lost that 10 again. But he's going to move on.
You got 2.
And probably the right call here. Probably the right call. Sun's out, it's getting hot, and you don't have the time to go back to number 2 twice. The good news is he's looking like he's going to get obstacle 3 really, really quickly. He just needs to make sure that last one, and there you go. That might be one of the fastest. Maybe he did have some time to spend back at 2. Maybe he could have afforded to hang back there, because that was smooth. That was slick as hell. And now we begin the march over to obstacle 4. He's only lost 10 points at this point. You're pretty happy. I've said it a million times today, but if you can get out of obstacle 3 in under 5 minutes, you're pretty happy. So he's sitting pretty for the moment. Now the question becomes the tricky cornerless cube of obstacle 4.
I don't know who had that almost.
And he's gonna get this one real quick as well, potentially. He just needs to watch that left side, and he does. And boy, Mike has sailed through these last 2 obstacles. The two of the toughest obstacles short of the pen and the sword, and he's made them look easy. Gonna be pretty happy about that. It does, though, make that 10 points dropped on obstacle 2 hurt a little bit more. He's only gonna get 1 in obstacle 5. I have to imagine he's gonna give this another pass. He's given himself time. He's really picked up a lot of time on obstacles 3 and 4, getting them instantly right out of the gate. That's usually where you could budget yourself, 60 seconds, 2 minutes each, depending on how things go. And so the fact that he got them right away has given him a little bit of breathing room after some of the misadventures at obstacle 2, and it's given him a little bit of time maybe to get a little picky at obstacle 5. Still got almost 4 minutes. Just getting things lined up though. It's gonna need a big away flank here. Maybe a bit too much jazz on that one. It's only got the one there. He's gonna try again. Again, he still has time, but every one of these missed passes was taking 20, 30 seconds, maybe more off his reserve. And you kind of don't want to leave yourself less than 2 minutes to get over to the pen and the sword. You'd like to have more if you can, but at the very least you kind of want at least 2 minutes. This is looking good though. Nice line there. I think he's got 2 of the 3 there. And I think he'll take that and move on. Yeah, he's going to move on with 2 there. The right call. He's given himself just over 2 minutes now to head to the pen and the sort. Should be enough, barring some kind of disaster here. Done a really nice job. Almost the whole run, kind of. Every time these cattle get an idea to start running in a direction, he's got HP out there. Just kind of getting in their eye a little bit. Quashing any rebellious ideas. Right now they want to go to the right, and HP's doing a really nice job covering them. And he's kind of been making this obstacle look easy today. We'll see if he can get his pen. And it looks like he's going. It looks like he's going to. Just the 3 hardest obstacles Mike and HP have just made a mockery of today in this run. Really, really nice. Now he's gonna go for his sword. This is found money that he's got this far, and he's given himself more than a minute. Nice. He gets the one out the top. That's usually one of the trickier ones. Now he just needs to watch that he doesn't lose 2 at the bottom here. He's gonna get one out the side, covers it just at the right time, and he's got it. Really nicely done. That is a...
Nothing, you good?
What's wrong?
You're
What's
good.
wrong? You're good.
He's good.
16.
He can, he can hardly believe it, but he's good.
You good?
He had so much
Oh, you
fun.
can stop that one. We got this other one.
He's had so much fun he doesn't want to quit. Next up, we've got David Henry and J.R. Buck. They are 28th coming into today, or they were 28th coming in today with a score of 120 from Tuesday. Another one of those teams that's kind of just right on the line. They came in today just 8 places out of placing for the final round on Sunday. And there's opportunity today. I don't know exactly how many points it's looking like you'll need to qualify for the finals, but if you're sitting at 120 coming in today, you kind of hope and need that 210 full point score. And that might not even be enough, but it certainly anything less than that, you're not going to feel very, very confident about for your odds of getting into the final round. So David and Buck will be, I'm sure, pulling out all the stops here. Off to a good start. Nice calm lift. Cattle mostly together. A little bit of a free thinker on the right, but nothing we haven't seen before. Nothing that can't be managed. little bit tricky here. Gonna need a big away, and they are past the obstacle. So gonna need to give that another shot. Nice big away flank there. Dog's doing a really good job kind of getting to its spot before it moves in on its cattle. A little bit of a standoff here. Need to cue the Mexican standoff music. That one heifer on the left is kind of deciding whether she needs to participate or not, and she's made the right choice. All right, they're through. That's going to be 30 points. A little bit late on time, 2 minutes, but nothing offensive. Nothing that can't be solved. And really nice pace here, headed towards obstacle 2. Want to kind of get ahead of this splitting tendency that sometimes some of these heifers might have. If they're not covered, they will get ideas. We don't like their ideas, but David puts them comfortably through obstacle 2, and he's moving to 3, just under 3 minutes. The unofficial kind of benchmark I've been using is 5 minutes for this obstacle. If you can get through it in under 5 minutes, you're probably sitting pretty good. Seems like most of the full point runs, or all the full point runs we've seen, have kind of managed to hit that benchmark, and including many of the near full point runs as well. But he's got kind of 3 different directions of cattle here, and Buck was just a bit too far out there to really affect the first pass, so I'm going to need to give that another go. This is what you don't want, though. You don't want your cattle all kind of looking in different directions and with different thoughts in their head. So can we pull it back together is going to be the question. Looks like we can. Nice wide flank there, giving the cattle lots of room to see that opening, to realize that's what success looks like here. But unfortunately he's not going to get him. So we're getting down to 4 minutes and 15 seconds territory. Again, you're not in panic mode at this point. You've had a few passes at the obstacle, but they're still well in hand. But this is where you start to kind of feel the time back of your head. You know it's a factor. You know you're still fairly early on in the course. I mean, you want to see kind of this obstacle behind you sooner rather than later. This looks promising here. One squirts out the left. I don't think he's going to take it, though. He's going to insist on the full 30 points here. He had 20 there. Now if he can get a big away here. Tuck. The problem he's got now, though, is he's got one heifer that wants to kind of go out the right. Might have solved it. Might have solved it. Oh. Game of inches there. And it looks like he is going to move on now. He's going to move on with 20. It's getting close to 6 minutes. Spent more time there than he'd probably like. But not much. Didn't have much choice there. There was that one opportunity to take 20 a bit earlier, but that's how it goes goes sometimes. Got one in for free here, but the other two wasn't quite as lucky with. And this is getting a bit tense, 'cause, almost up to 6.5 minutes now. These cattle aren't quite all together. They're starting to kind of move at different speeds at times, make different decisions at times. They've gotten a little bit comfortable making independent choices from the rest of the group, and that's tricky if you're still kind of this early on in the run and your cattle kind of started to get
You dirty.
some ideas. So the judge here is going to tell him that his cattle are not quite right for that obstacle, and he's going to have to redo it. And this is a tough situation to be in when you know you might not know exactly how much time you have left. Maybe you have a watch on, maybe you don't, but you know time is slipping away. Your cattle are misbehaving a little bit, and there are still 4 obstacles left. At this point, you're maybe happy to get 10 or 20 here. Letting things settle down a little bit. There you go. Needs the away. This dog needed a drink. Probably gonna try and get the 10 and move on.
You good? Got one.
He's gonna take the 10 and go. Probably the right move. He's only got about a minute left to get obstacle 5. But his cattle are kind of all different wavelengths now. And that is a hard hill to climb. That said, it's gonna get 2. Not bad. He's gonna move on, but there's a long drive left to get over to the pen. It's not impossible, but it's gonna be really tough. That is gonna be time. David Henry and J.R. Buck. All right, we're up with Steve Nipmeyer and Pete,
In only the open.
and we are getting near the end of open round 2. And Pete is off and away. He's gonna start it out on the away side, but he's gonna flip over to the come-by side. And Steve and Pete had a score of 90 on Tuesday. To a pretty nice fetch here, slow and steady. Pete is going to have a little bit of a pee there, and then continue on his way. And a really nice line there. Not the fastest fetch there, just about 2 minutes, but well within competitive parameters, I guess you could say. And nice, easy, steady cross drive. Sun has gone behind a cloud just now. That gives a little bit of relief from some of the heat. The wind is also really nice, so that will kind of help. Setting himself up really nicely here to do that nice come by flank to make the cross drive panel. It's kind of got one heifer way out in front. Gonna bring the other two back to join her. Now for that come by flank. There it is. Beautiful. Steve has been working stock dogs for about 11 years and showing off his skill there with a really clean and easy entry and exit of obstacle number 3. Made it look simple. It is not a simple obstacle, but he is just at 4 minutes and he's sailing out of obstacle 3, and that is a really, really good place to be. Steve has won a number of national titles. He has claimed the top spot in open once, twice in nursery, and once in intermediate with his dogs. A run of wins we all would be happy to have. And he trains his own dogs but does not teach clinics or train dogs for the others. And he very rarely will sell a started dog. Looking really nice heading into obstacle 4. He's gonna miss 2 of them though. Probably go back for another try at that one because he's just got to 5 minutes now. And I say that, and I am a liar. He's gonna move right on. He's got no time for fooling around at obstacle 4. He saw it and he said, "That's enough of that." Yeah. And it might end up being a good move. We'll have to see. Puts 2 of them in really nicely on 5. And the question will be, does he continue on? He got 2 that I saw. And he wants 3. It just goes to show they can sometimes a handler can be anything but greedy on one obstacle and the very next obstacle decide, no, I want more. Got a decent lineup here. No, he's gonna lose another one right out the side there. He's gonna lose 2 this time. And he's shaking his head and he's gonna go on with just 1. So he has decided to downgrade a little bit on that obstacle. Had 20, leaving with 10. That is the price of the gamble. That said, he has given himself 3 minutes for the last 2 obstacles, and that is not a bad thing to do.
So what did you take? 20? Oh, yeah, because he was trying.
Just trying to get organized here. Get everyone back on the program, but he's got 1 free thinker now. She's feeling a little bit independent. And he might be glad that he gave himself this extra time to sort out whatever she's got going on. She's decided it wasn't a whole lot of fun hanging out with her 2 friends over there. she's getting all kinds of ideas. She's thinking, can I take him? Yeah. Reluctantly, she's going to go back with her pals. But we're down to 90 seconds. Just goes to show that time can melt away.
Some runs it feels like forever. And some runs
Yeah.
it takes just like that.
Yep.
And she cornered
And needs a big come by here, but it might. Okay, now an away. Now he needs a big away. And he's going to get it. Just needs to see that one turn its head in. Oh, that is not what we wanted. And now a big come by. There you go. Oh, come on now. Just tuck that head in there. Oh, she's making every choice but the right one there.
Such
We're down to 20 seconds. Just a few frustrating choices from that heifer there have robbed Steve and Pete of their pen and their sort. And that is going to do it, unfortunately, for Steve and Pete.
All right, Steve and Pete had a time of 10 minutes and a score of 110. Next is Jeannie Buckley with Ollie. And then we have Rick Morgan and Roxy. And rounding out this class for tonight will be Rod Long and Gus.
She got second. Callie. Yeah, I wasn't expecting all of them. We gotta add cookies on there. We need to add Frenchies on there. We haven't added more cows in a while.
Sorry?
We haven't added more cows in a while.
Well, they're not calling for more, so they must be producing themselves. All right, next up is Jeannie Buckley and Ollie. And let's see how they made out.
It rated.
They were 90 points on Tuesday. So they need a big one here. Nice looking outrun to start. Ollie knows right where his cattle are. He's gonna lift him pretty nice as well. Nice few little moves there just to gather everyone up. He's staying in contact. That's a picture right there. Got all the set out crew in their cowboy hats resting in the shade, and border collie come and took the cattle away.
The work here's done.
This is looking like a really nice veg. Moving in good pace. Not letting anything get out of hand. Gonna just ease those cattle through. Maybe need a little bit of a come by here just to make sure they don't slip out the right hand side. Maybe not. Looks like she's gonna be fine with that one. Actually, might need the away here. She's good.
Yeah.
Off to a nice casual but purposeful cross drive. Coming a bit high. Looks like she sees it as well. It's going to use the away flank just to trim them back down below the cross drive panel. Looking good. Maybe just a tad high. Nope, I'm wrong. Ooh, costly, just minor missed flank there. But still in good shape. Only at 2.5 minutes. Don't flank too soon though. Oh, that one hurts. Ollie got a bit of a talking to there. His mom let him know that he needs to be on his best behavior. And looks like it worked. He's gonna put them right through. Still in good shape. Only at 3.5 minutes. That's perfectly perfectly good to be heading to obstacle 3 with. She's going to want to try and get out of there in under 5. Coming a bit too far to the left. Just needs to tuck him in now with a very nice. Very nice. Don't let him sleek out this side. Oh. Ollie can flank at warp speed, but that can sometimes offend these cattle. Gonna give it another shot here. This is a tricky position to be in when your cattle start kind of orbiting the obstacle at speed. It can make hitting those really tight finesse turns pretty hard.
Where's Jeannie from? You know? Do you know
Sorry?
where she's from?
Jeannie is from northwestern Wyoming, where she works big rolling sage hills and canyons.
This kind of what?
And she credits Joni Teachin and her husband for being big helps in getting her started or mentoring her.
Does
And
it matter which way they come in?
yeah, they have to come in the top. And Jeannie works cattle and sheep, both on her ranch operation and at trials. And she occasionally raises and sells pups, and sometimes teaches clinics. She's got her cattle in a nice little position there. They're all going the right way. So she's gonna move on from obstacle 3 a bit later than maybe she'd like, but
She got a rope as a milk.
does she?
No, that's our
Okay. I was like, oh, okay.
Getting down to 2 minutes and change. Hopefully, if you're in Jeannie's head right now, you're thinking, I'd like to get the next 60 points at least before our time is up. But that is no mean feat. got 2 there. Wonder if she'll take those 2 and move on. Might not be a half bad idea. I think she is. Probably the right call. Still pick up some points here on obstacle 5. Getting down to our last minute though, so kind of key to hopefully carve out. "40 seconds to go." Sorry? What? No, they need to come in from the top there. Yeah, just like, oh, basically from towards the set out, down and through. It is that is not an easy obstacle to see. And I think that's gonna be it for Jeannie and Ollie.
We've tried it, but they said you have to have a horn hooked up. Yeah. You know, that's 3 in a row at 110 points. All right, Jeannie and Ollie, you had 10 minutes and a score of 110. All right, we have 2 competitors left. We have Rick Morgan and Roxy, and then Ron Long and Gus. Yeah. Rick Morgan.
Two more. All right.
You know you stuck.
Well, it's fun for sure, and I know I'm not doing it every day, so it's easy to be.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to be.
And it's a half of a month.
Oh, it's really fun. All right, we're back with Rick Morgan and Roxy. And Rick and Roxy had a full point run on Tuesday. So they'll be looking to see if they can repeat that magic here. Roxy's a bit unsure where her cattle are, but I think she's found them now. Hopefully the vulture circling above the set out pen is not a bad omen.
Look alive.
Hopefully it is not a symbol of dead hopes.
It'll be on a lot of it.
But a really nice lift there from Roxy. A little bit of trouble finding the cattle initially on the outrun, but recovered without missing a beat. And off to the races now. Just needs to kind of manage the front two that have a little bit of jump to them. Does a nice wide flank to tuck them in, but now needs to think about the back one and takes care of that too. 90 seconds. Gonna be pretty happy with that time on on their fetch. Just needs to start thinking about getting over to 2 with some speed, but then also slowing things back down again before obstacle 3. Gonna give that number 2 obstacle just one more opportunity there. Again, it's not really an obstacle you want to leave any points on the table for. The unfortunate thing is he's got one heifer who kind of seems to be devising little schemes every time he tries to put her around it. The one on the right there. She's getting a little crafty. He's gonna try and tuck it. Oh, that is a heartbreaker for sure. Now he's got 2 heifers that have got schemes in mind. There we go. Now one maybe big come by. Good move from the dog there to slip under the panel. I think if he had gone around, that might not have panned out right. So it was a nice move there. The dog decided to come in and do a bit of a tighter flank, which I think was needed there with the way that those heifers were kind of taking advantage of either end of those panels. Now he's got to slow things down though. And he's got this might be a record. He's got one at the back though that's not yet committed. Needs her to come in, and she's in. And look at that, beautifully done. Makes up for any lost time.
It was that cow dance.
Yeah, the cattle were so mesmerized by his little jig there that they had no choice but to go through the obstacle the right way. They thought, whatever that guy's doing, let's go. Let's get off to the side here and let's not go near him. But that made up for any time lost at obstacle 2. He just made up there with how quickly he did obstacle 3. Maybe we'll see some more moves from Rick to come. Getting things organized here. A little bit of an interlude here to graze some grass. This is a deceptively crafty group of cattle. We've seen now that they can get ideas when you least expect it. And he's just having a bit of work here just to get them all pointed in the right direction. Looks like he's done it. Gotta look out for that one at the back though. She's not yet committed to the turn, and she's gonna balk at the last minute. And I don't know if he'll take that, but I kind of think he should. It looks like he has the same idea. He's gonna move on.
Two, yes.
Probably the right move there. It's coming up on 7 minutes. And he's going to get 5 easy as you can hope for, and go on with 3 minutes left to his pen and sword. He's got one heifer here who has decided she doesn't like this game. Dog's doing a nice job kind of keeping her from running off to the corner, while the other two kind of start to follow in behind. But she's heads up now. She looks as unhappy as we've seen. It could be a chore to bring her back on side. Like a girlfriend when you forget their birthday.
Here, now it's heifers and girlfriends. Did you hear that? Junior, you and
This
him, and
this heifer is not happy, and one apology will not do here.
Chocolate, maybe a diamond.
Flowers,
Steak
chocolate, and
diamond.
maybe a diamond, I'm being told, is
Date night without the kids or you.
date night without the kids,
Chocolate
date night
diamond,
without
there
you.
go.
I'm getting lots of advice here. You just seem to have done a good job, though, de-escalating this a little bit. But that will undo some of that work, perhaps. Got them in. Really nicely done from Rick and Roxy there. You're gonna just need to push them a bit further to secure his pen points. There he goes, and now he's got 50 seconds to go for his sword. It is doable. He's doing his rain dance. The Rick Morgan special. He learned these moves from a ancient shaman, and so far they've worked magic for him twice at this obstacle.
Run out of time.
He's getting real close though. Can the dance save him? Needs cattle on the move, and he is out of time. Not even the fabled Rick Morgan dance, but still a really nice run.
All right, Rick, that was very entertaining. You had 10-minute time and points of 170. And to close out this last person in this class would be Ron Long and Gus.
What do I have?
right, we're up with our final dog in today's open class. Ron with his dog Gus to close things out for us. Ron and Gus had 120 points yesterday. Oh, sorry, on Tuesday. And he has a heck of an hour. Real nice and wide.
We ain't hit that thing all day.
And the sun is out in full glory for Ron's run here. The last of the day. Dog and handler number 50.
I said, they can see that clock. He said, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to start slapping it then. And about that time, that woman that was taking pictures come up. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. What you're fixing to
Not
slap
wasting
on."
any time on the fetch. Gotta be careful not to leave this one alone back here. Looking like he's in good shape. Maybe just a little come by here to trim it. Yep, there we go. Oh,
You good? All three went through.
Now, he's the one that didn't get all of them past the this one. Does he know that this time? I mean, surely he's asked other people or watched this far.
I think he realized it when he left earlier.
I'm not gonna.
not wasting any time here. This dog is definitely moving his cattle pretty quickly. Will be a question though, can they bring this back down though? All well and good to make up time on your drives at high speed. This course has been designed in such a way that you can't do the whole thing like this. Looking good here with a nice little away flank. Gets it done. And right on track, headed to obstacle 3 with 2.5 minutes.
I hate when it's all break.
Needs to settle things down just a tiny bit. Don't want to kind of be running them around the obstacle too much. You get used to it. Just trying to get things settled down here for obstacle 4.
Not been counting, honey.
The heat is definitely apparent right now with the sun out. This dog has worked really, really hard. Getting a little bit slower on the flanks, but considering how hot it is right now, the humidity makes total sense. It's not giving up though. That's what you want to see. Lining up the approach. Just needs a bit of calm for the cattle to see that opening. Gus has worked really hard. Gus is looking for the water. Cannot blame him. And I think Ron is gonna call it. Good effort. Good decision. It's a good handler there who sees who can see the opportunity to
cattle.
Yeah, he's working.
That was a good try, Ron and Gus.
good work to
They are
Ron and
in
Gus.
the